Hello Gemini, and welcome to my channel Tarot by Gabrielle. This is going to be a general reading for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs, looking at your connection to the person that you have the strongest connection to at this time. We are looking at all three sides of the connection. We've got your energy toward it, their energy toward it, and the energy in between it, the concept being three sides to every story. So we're looking at kind of what you have going on, what they have going on, and then just this higher level unbiased truth in the middle, really looking at what is the deeper purpose of this connection and what is the best way for you to move forward in order to align further with your higher self. As always, I've gone ahead and pulled the overall energy for the reading and clarified those messages as well as the overall theme for the reading, which we will jump into in just a second, but I have a different tarot deck I'll be using for each side of this connection, as well as the advice deck I'll be closing out the reading with in the extended. Any information on the extended reading or on booking a personal reading with me is in the description box below. Last thing, please remember that these are general readings. They are not here to resonate fully for everyone, and they won't resonate fully for everyone. So do please remember to take what does resonate and helps your personal situation and leave what does not. On that note, these energies can be swapped. So if you resonate more with the energy to my right than to my left, just know that's totally fine and totally normal. So the whole reading can be reversed. So just take what helps and leave what doesn't. All right, Gemini. On your side of this connection, you have the Justice in reverse with have faith in your dreams. So it's kind of interesting because the way these overall energies were pulled is it kind of feels like the overarching energy of each individual and not even necessarily toward the connection. I feel like we'll get more of that when we dive into tarot, but the way that I see this for you is I feel as if you're struggling to have a lot of hope when it comes to your love life and ultimately being able to attract and sustain the relationships that you want and deserve. Because with the Justice in reverse, it feels like you're kind of, you're getting the short end of the stick here. You definitely feel like you are. And I feel the more that you lack that justice in your life and in your connections, the more that you kind of lose hope that things are going to come together for you in a healthy way, whether that's talking about this person or not. Because I feel like depending on the collective that you're in, like the collective that I'm speaking to, I feel as if the Justice in reverse card spans well beyond this connection. This is something that you've been struggling with in other areas of your life too, maybe not just in your relationships, just kind of feeling like you're not getting what you deserve, not getting what you should out of the energy that you're putting in. Now, the overall theme for the reading, I'm going to do this first before we jump into their side, is healing family issues, and it says your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. So this is interesting because I feel as if this connection is pushing both individuals in this connection to look at where their kind of deepest wounds lie. And in particular, wounds in regard to family, childhood, whether it's your parents, your caregivers, whatever the case is, just kind of almost pulling out those beginning experiences with love in a way. I feel like this connection runs really deep. Like it pushes buttons in a very aggressive way, because this person, they have a time for healing with the Six of Cups. So there is healing from their past that is absolutely needed. And I feel like the lack of healing from their past is directly affecting the connection. We all have a past. We're all adults. We all have a past, and we all carry baggage with us. And the way to be able to attract and sustain healthy relationships is to handle and deal with that baggage and not project it on whoever you're trying to build a relationship with. Now, when you kind of get into a connection that I feel like is similar to this one, where you're both kind of triggering those deeper childhood wounds, there can be a lot of projecting that happens that kind of keeps the connection in a place of chaos instead of a place of like stability. Now, in between this connection, you have what do you need to release with the Three of Pentacles. So this connection really is pushing you to release a certain energy or a certain belief or a certain mindset when it comes to love in order with the Three of Pentacles for the pieces to come together. Because the Three of Pentacles to me is like partnership, things kind of coming together, being able to watch the pieces fall into place for you, whatever the case might be. And I feel like there's something in particular, especially with this connection, that needs to be released in order for those pieces to fall into place, whether it's with this person or somebody else. But let's gather let's get more here. This is for Gemini's side of this connection, clarifying have faith in your dreams with the Justice in reverse. What does Gemini need to know regarding their connection to the person they have the strongest connection to at this time? This is for Gemini's side of this connection, because I do feel like you are getting the short end of the stick in this connection. There's definitely a lack of justice here. Gemini's side of the connection to the person they have the strongest connection to at this time. Gemini's side of this connection. A lot of disappointment here. I almost feel like this is talking about a past connection in a way, because there's a lot of this disappointment. I don't know if it's a past connection or one that it's what, you know, the strongest connection. It's one that has impacted your life greatly and still is affecting your life in ways. Even if you're not together with this person, you could still be, but there is a lot of disappointment that exists here. Yeah, because there you are, Queen of Swords, air sign energy, whether you're male or female, with the Nine of Cups in reverse. So the first thing kind of out of the gate here is I kind of feel as if this connection has done a bit of a number on you. It's affected your mindset when it comes to love a lot, and I feel as if that really can be attributed to this Justice in reverse. Like, I don't know if you got like screwed over in this connection, or if, I don't know. It just feels as if because of how things played out here, you're struggling to believe that you're ever going to have what it is that you desire in love. Because there is a lot of disappointment here. A lot of, I don't know exactly. Gemini's side of this connection to the person they have the strongest connection to at this time. Gemini side of this connection, please. Gemini side of this connection to the person they have the strongest connection to at this time. Gemini side of this connection. Okay, hang on. Whoa. Okay, I'll take all of them, but I'm going to have to split this up into a couple different messages. So give me just a second here. Yeah, okay. That goes that way. This is this way. This that way. Okay. Here you are again, Queen of Swords. I feel as if this connection brought a lot of confusion into your life, as if this person, there's a lack of clarity in terms of how this person feels or felt about you, or their true intentions in a way. Because with the King of Cups in reverse and the Ace of Wands here, I feel as if the things that they told you and the way that they connected with you on an emotional level did not align with their actions, or does not align with their actions in a way. And you're having a really hard time knowing what your gut wants you to do here, because, and that can be difficult when you're dealing with someone who says one thing, does another. You know, I don't really feel like this person has bad intentions. I feel as if, because the King of Cups in reverse can be an energy of dealing with kind of someone who's playing games. Even if you've been with this person forever, just someone who expects you to be able to read their mind, or who, like, I just think the thing that comes to mind is silly things that can happen over texting when, like you text this person, they're like, I'm not going to text them back for 5 hours just because I want them to worry, or something like that. I'm not saying that's exactly what it is, but that's kind of what it feels like the energy you were receiving from this person is. Sometimes they were very present and very, or are, I don't know if this is past or not, so take it as it resonates, but sometimes they're very present, and other times I feel as if their actions are very confusing. And that has left you going, what do I do? Because obviously sometimes things are good, but then other times you're second guessing yourself, wondering what's really going on with them. And I honestly don't know. But I do know this is triggering healing in both of you. This is for Gemini's side. And it's almost like, because I saw wherever it went, the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. It's like you didn't feel secure in this, or safe in this, or you don't feel secure or safe. And maybe it's just because it's new and you're learning each other, that could be the case. But I also feel like this could be a connection with someone you've been dealing with for a while. Gemini's side of this connection to the person they have the strongest connection to at this time. This is Gemini's side of this connection. Now, I also want you to pay attention to how you might be kind of playing games a little bit in this. So kind of taking that texting example, like, are you doing things like that? Are you trying to play it cool? Or, just kind of paying attention to where the mirror might be. Because anything like that is a lack of authenticity, right? It's a lack of showing up as you are and as you want to be in your relationships. And it's important that, the people that are meant to be in your life will never require you to play games, nor will they ever play games with you. Gemini's side of the connection to the person they have the strongest connection to at this time. 8 of Pentacles. The Page of Cups. Ooh, 7 of Wands in reverse. Okay. I feel like you either are or did put a lot of effort, like with the 8 of Pentacles, that's kind of this energy of building, working on something. And with the Page of Cups, it seems like a lot of your effort and energy went toward or goes toward trying to get them to open up, them to be emotionally available for you. A lot of your energy goes towards, they're trying to get them to be emotionally available for you. Interesting. Like trying to get them to open up, trying to get them to... Which I feel is why things are so confusing, right? Because you put in this energy, sometimes they reciprocate, sometimes they don't. I just feel like this person is very, you never really know who you're going to get. Now, I feel like there's a reason for that. And we'll see when we kind of dive in over there. Gemini's side of this connection to the person they are dealing with. Gemini's side of the connection to the person they are dealing with. I just feel like it's like, don't give up hope. Don't lose hope regarding your love life, regardless of how things are going for you right now. That's why you have faith in your dreams. Gemini's side of this connection to the person they are dealing with. The Hierophant. 4 of Pentacles in reverse. And then there's the King of Wands. You could be dealing, we've seen a lot of different signs. We had the Earth sign energy, but specifically I feel like you could be dealing with a fire sign. You absolutely do not have to be. Because we saw that King of Cups and the Queen of Pentacles. We've seen a few switches. All the signs. So, the Hierophant, 4 of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, so now we're kind of getting into this healing families issues. Interesting. Okay. The thing that I'm hearing is this connection reflects a generational cycle. This connection reflects a generational cycle for you. Because with the Four of Pentacles in reverse, again, that's just this lack of security, lack of stability that exists in this connection. It's like you're always working on trying to make the connection feel stable, and the more energy that you put into it, it feels as if the more disappointed you get in a way. Especially because I feel like sometimes there can feel as if there's hope and things are moving in the right direction, but then something happens and things go the other way. Because there is a lot of confusion here. But something about this connection reflects a deeper generational cycle here. This is Gemini's side of this connection to the person they have the strongest connection to at this time. I don't know what that means yet, so bear with me if you're like, what does that mean? I don't know. Gemini's energy toward the person they have the strongest connection to at this time. Gemini's side of this connection. Knight of Wands in reverse. Ace of Swords in reverse. Knight of Wands in reverse. Ace of Swords in reverse. I don't feel as if you feel safe in this to be vulnerable. It's like there's not a whole lot of room for your feelings or your fears, doubts, insecurities, worries. It's like there's no space in this connection for you to be vulnerable, or no security or stability that allows you to like open up and be emotional here. Because there's a lack of vulnerability coming from your side here. But I feel as if that's because especially with the Queen of Pentacles here, like you don't feel safe to. That's the biggest thing I'm getting. This is all about security and safety and emotionally safe, which is such an important aspect of healthy connections. Gemini side of the connection to the person they have the strongest connection to at this time. Gemini side of this connection to the person they have the strongest connection to at this time. Gemini side of this connection. That's where I feel like the Justice in reverse is. It's like you just feel as if you got screwed, or you're getting screwed in some way. Gemini side of this connection. Ace of Pentacles in reverse with the Sun. And this is the biggest thing is like you doubt that you're ever going to have your chance of happiness with the Sun here. You're ever going to have your chance of fulfillment. But then you have faith in your dreams. So whether it's with this person or not, I feel like this opportunity for you still exists. But I feel, because then you have what do you need to release, right? So there's something that needs to be released in order for those pieces to fall into place for you. This connection reflects a generational cycle. So that's the thing. There's a generational cycle in the way of you receiving what it is that you deserve. And this person and their energy toward it, because I feel like they're also dealing with that, a generational cycle of some sort. And it's like both people in this connection are being pushed, forced to heal certain generational cycles through this connection. It's kind of interesting. Let's see though. This person's energy toward Gemini, the person that Gemini has the strongest connection to at this time's energy toward Gemini, a time for healing with the Six of Cups. This person's energy toward Gemini, a time for healing with the Six of Cups. This person's energy toward Gemini. Huh. The Star, the Knight of Wands in reverse, and the Eight of Cups. So they you're both in this Knight of Wands in reverse energy. It's like lacking vulnerability. Could be self-sabotage too. And maybe that's one thing, is like, because this person self-sabotages so much in this connection, it's hard for you to be vulnerable. Because the Star here, this is healing. So the cycle for them is to walk away when things get hard. And I feel as if that's why it's so hard for you, because with the Eight of Pentacles, you keep working on trying to get them to open up, to be willing to work on this. But then I feel as if they lack the vulnerability to do so. It's kind of like the idea that, communication is a two-way street. It takes two people to communicate. You can talk and be vulnerable all day long, but if you're not speaking to someone who's willing to listen, then you're talking to a brick wall, that kind of energy. It's, you can show up as vulnerable and loving as you want, but it's almost as if this person has a cycle of sabotaging themselves or a connection before things get, when things get hard. So this person's energy toward Gemini, and that's a big generational cycle for them. Now typically you can see, I'm not saying it has to be this way, but typically it's, if you're a female or kind of identify more with the feminine energy, you maybe have a tendency to more repeat generational cycles on your mom's side of things. But if you're a male or you identify with more of that masculine energy, then this is kind of repeating generational cycles on your dad's side of things. But it could be whatever. Take it as it resonates. Just kind of throwing that out there. Okay, this person's energy toward Gemini. This person's energy toward Gemini, please. So something needs to be released in order for things to come together, whether it's in this connection or in a different connection. This person's energy toward Gemini, because again, I feel like I'm talking to two different collectives. I feel like this could either be someone you've dealt with in your past that you still feel a connection to and you're having a hard time breaking away from, or it's someone you're currently dealing with. This person's energy toward Gemini. This inner child. Oh. They've got some stuff from their past, this Ten of Swords here, this exists in their inner child. Maybe betrayal, abandonment. But this is why they have a tendency to sabotage things when things get hard, for sure, because they're trying to avoid at all costs this energy, this Ten of Swords that they still hold from their childhood. They're trying, at all costs, they're trying to avoid this Ten of Swords energy. That is intense. So that's why this person has some healing they would need to do of this energy before they'd be able to show up in this in a healthy way. But you also have a generational cycle of some sort. Maybe it's, I don't know. Actually, I don't know. This person's energy toward Gemini. This person's energy toward Gemini, please. There's the Sun and the Eight of Pentacles. This contradicts the first message we got, though. The Eight of Pentacles, working on the Sun, working on the fulfillment. Working on the fulfillment. Okay, what is this saying? The Sun with the Eight of Pentacles. This is super contradictory to that first message we pulled. So what is that saying? And maybe that's they contradict themselves. You know, I kind of said like they say one thing and then completely do another. It's like they want this. They want the same Sun, the same fulfillment in their relationships as you do. They want that. And it's like they want to put in the work, but then the way that because they haven't done the healing of this inner child wounding. So they don't, 95% of our movements, choices, and decisions stem from our subconscious. 5% of the way we interact with our reality is conscious. So we can consciously want to work on something or make something work, but then subconsciously our patterns are going to come out. Our subconscious patterns, our lack of healing, our self-sabotaging tendencies, and it's almost as if what they want and what they do directly contradict each other. And maybe that's why it's so confusing for you. Because maybe they say things like, I love you so much, I want to make this work, I'm willing to do anything, I'm willing to, whatever. But then when it comes down to the action, they bail. Because that's when they actually have to kind of face it, right? Interesting. But yeah, because they want the Sun. They want the same things that you do. But they have this past wounding that's getting in the way of their ability to do that. Yeah, because their control kicks in. With the Emperor in reverse, their control kicks in. This person's energy towards Gemini. Like I said, I don't feel as if this person has bad intentions. It just feels as if they, it feels as if they just haven't done the healing that's needed. This person's energy toward Gemini. Oh. Seven of Pentacles in reverse, Ace of Wands, Knight of Swords. They have this cycle of running. That's the cycle, right? The runner. They have the cycle of running, but then it's almost like they always end up regretting it with the Three of Swords. They always end up regretting the sabotage. But they don't really change their actions. So if you're dealing with someone that you've been dealing with for a long time, it's like you're dealing with someone who maybe hurts you or does things that aren't great, and then turns around. Like I just think of, and I'm not saying this is what it is, but I just think of that partner that cheats and is like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, I promise it'll never happen again. Like, I love you so much. I really want to make this work. But then you know, a couple weeks and months go by and they're right back to doing the same thing. And it's because they haven't healed the root of why they have a tendency to do that. And so I feel like that's kind of what's happening in this connection. It's like they do things, they sabotage or run, but then they turn around and they're like, oh, I didn't mean that. Like, I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have. I want to make this work with you. And that the things they say directly contradict the things that they do. But it's not because it doesn't have anything to do with you. It's they have this past. You know, if we don't analyze our actions and look at what am I trying to protect myself from, right? Most people sabotage because it's easier for them to sabotage a connection than it is for them to run the risk of being hurt, right? Which I kind of feel is what this person is mostly dealing with. It's easier to sabotage, it's easier to run than it is to stay and be vulnerable, right? Run that risk of getting hurt, especially if they've had some pretty, because they do have this pretty deep wounding that exists from childhood. This person's energy toward Gemini. This person's energy toward Gemini, please. The person that Gemini has the strongest connection to at this time. Energy toward Gemini. This person's energy toward Gemini, please. Also contradicts each other. Give me just a second. 4 of Wands in reverse with a 10 of Wands in reverse. See, they don't have a very positive outlook, mindset when it comes to relationships. And I feel like it's because there's this deep core wound that's given them this belief around love that that's where the confusion comes from. Because I said this is contradicting. But then they have this 10 of Wands in reverse. I don't do this like often at all. But I feel as if there's something that I need to see regarding this 10 of Wands in reverse here. I'm not hiding cards from you. These are 2 additional cards in this deck. I don't like using them when I'm using 3 different tarot decks, but I obviously know what the 10 of Wands in reverse means, but for some reason I feel like there's something, like a word or something. So, avoidance and immaturity. Relief, simplification, avoidance, and immaturity. So you're dealing with someone who's got a very avoidant attachment style. Okay, and so the way that if you're not familiar with attachment styles, please do research on them. It changed my view on relationships. It has helped me a ton in my relationships, just understanding I've always had an anxious attachment, but just helping me understand myself and the people that are in my life. But this person has they're a very avoidant relationship style, which is where the confusion comes from. So look up avoidant relationship styles and like what being, you can Google it, and like what being in a relationship with an avoidant attachment style is like, and I bet you'll be able to see that it's very much this person, because it's like they're withdrawn from dealing with anything too emotional, which keeps them from being able to be vulnerable, and vulnerability is necessary in order to create healthy relationships, so I don't know why this is so crooked, but I feel like there's something there for you, and doing your own research on attachment styles can be so informative. This person's energy toward Gemini. That attachment style is going to stem. Your attachment style is a result of your childhood, like what you experienced in childhood, your first interaction with love. So that's where this stems from them, which is why this avoidant attachment style, until you can kind of get to the place of having a secure attachment, it's really difficult to have healthy relationships. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it is difficult, especially if you're not aware of it or doing the healing necessary to kind of look further into it, understanding why you've created that attachment style and being more aware of your actions surrounding it, because that's where you start to approach from a healing standpoint, right? Instead of a reactive place, which I feel this person is dealing with, right? Because they want one thing, but they do another. This person's energy toward Gemini. So that's why things are so confusing for you, is because of their avoidant attachment style. This person's energy toward Gemini. Yeah, but there's a generational cycle. This person reflects a generational cycle. This person's energy toward Gemini. This person's energy toward Gemini, please. Nothing about your attachment styles came through. That's what's so interesting. Because I feel like there's a need to really understand where this person is coming from so that you can do the best thing for you. This person's energy toward Gemini. Oh my goodness. This feels very specific. This person's energy toward Gemini, please. This person's energy toward Gemini, please. Person's energy toward Gemini. Oh my goodness. Okay. Temperance and the 9 of Cups. Oh no, those are in reverse. They're frustrated with themselves. I don't see, that's the thing, is I didn't really gather that this person means to be the way that they are. They're frustrated with themselves. I feel like they don't want to hurt you. They didn't want to hurt you. I don't think that they went into this trying to do that. I feel like I said, with the sun here, they want the same thing you do when it comes to your relationships. Now, loving someone and being able to love someone are two very different things. Having love for someone and recognizing that you have that love, and then knowing how to love someone, having the emotional tools, working through your past, being able to approach conflict with openness and a solution-oriented mindset instead of defensiveness and a you against me mindset. There's so many things, right, that go into being able to have and sustain a healthy relationship. And this person, it feels as if one of the biggest things blocking their ability to do that is this past that they have when it comes to love. And so I feel like you spend a lot of your time trying to get them to open up, trying to get them to, not sabotage, essentially, trying to get them to be just as invested in this as you are emotionally. And it leaves you disappointed because you feel like you're constantly getting the short end of the stick. You're constantly, I don't know if you're necessarily giving more, because I feel like you're also still holding back, but I feel like you're holding back because you don't feel safe to do that. This person hasn't created a safe space in this connection for you to be able to be vulnerable and to open up, and that makes things really difficult. And so the biggest thing, the only thing that can really help with that is communication, being willing to communicate, and that's got to come from both parties, right? Both parties being willing to look at their actions objectively and say, this is why I do what I do, and this is how I see my fault in this, instead of you did this and you did that, because the more that you do that, the more it's just going to turn into an argument and nothing's ever going to get solved. But I don't know, there's something about a generational cycle, and I feel as if we're going to get more on that as we keep going, but we're going to hop on over to the extended. You have what do you need to release with the 3 of Pentacles. I'm going to pull 9 different messages, then I have an advice card to pull at the end. This middle section is focusing on what is the deeper purpose of this connection and what is the best way for you to move forward in order to align further with your higher self. Thank you so much, Gemini, as always, for your support of my channel. I obviously hope that this reading helped and resonated with you in a way that you were needing today. And as always, Gemini, I wish you nothing but love and healing on your journey moving forward. All right, bye, Gemini.